Hi friends, this is Lady Flora, and my 2-year-old man cub is having his nap, and my 5-year-old songbird is with her Mimi right now. That's what we say for Grandma. So we've been using the Good and the Beautiful Level K curriculum with Songbird, my 5-year-old daughter, for about 5 months now. And we're almost done with it. And so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to tell you what we think of it and how we like it and how we used it and if we're going to use it again in the coming year. But before we get into it, I wanted to let you know that we do a lot of other videos like curriculum review videos and day in the life videos. So if you're interested in that, you can just subscribe right down there somewhere. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into our review. So if you go on the Jenny Phillips website, you'll see that their levels do not match up with the public school levels, and they all seem to be advanced by about a year. So even though this says it's for kindergartens, it's really at a first grade level, in my opinion, and my daughter is 5. So there were times when this just felt like a lot, because it is a lot. It's phonics, reading, spelling, literature, grammar and punctuation, and art appreciation. That's a lot. And that is what I love about this curriculum. It just covers so much. I've said this in other videos, but Songbird can read at about a 2nd grade level. If your child is just starting to read, then you might want to start with the Level K primer. However, you can take a test on the website and that will help you figure out where your child needs to be. So I like that there's a lot of variety in the lessons. There are little games and things like this that my daughter really responded to, and there are some build-a-word activities, and then there will be a painting that is appreciated or that is talked about, and you observe light and shadow, and you observe some of the things that are in the picture and then circle whether you see them below. And there are games as well. There's some games and stuff in here that are really cool and fun that my daughter really enjoyed. Some of the illustrations are vintage, but some have this kind of clip art feel to them. But there's really nothing zany or wacky about it. It's all just very gentle, simple imagery. Now at times the lessons seem quite short, like the ones on poetry or the ones on art. Sometimes they'll just be 1 page. But then other times they can be quite long, like this lesson on B and D recognition. So my daughter already knew the difference between the letter B and D, so we probably should have skipped this lesson, but we didn't. And by the time we got through it, she was all turned around and confused, and it just felt a little bit like overkill. There's really a lot here, and it's a little confusing. So I loved the reader and I loved the mini books. These have been really, really great. And my daughter loves reading them. She wanted to read them all right from the beginning, but I made her wait. And the flashcards are just really wonderful. Like, they have an explanation of the sound and what it sounds like. And then they have words to kind of reinforce that sound. And I love that, and I'm going to always hold on to these and use these with my kids. Okay, so just so you know, we are Christians. We don't feel like we need all of our curriculum to be Christian curriculum or to be religious curriculum. And so to me, I like how this actually feels like a non-religious curriculum because they don't use Bible stories to illustrate the point, and they don't use Bible stories as your reading material. They do mention God, the existence of God, like in this book here, and praying. And on page, on page 62, they acknowledge the existence of Jesus. And this is just one little page. I think this is like the only time that he's mentioned at all in the entire book. And I'll read to you what it says. It's called Try to Be Like Him. I tried to be like Jesus. I help my mom dry the cups. She is glad. I go and help my dad in the yard so he can rest. I read a book to the baby so she will not cry. Like Jesus, I want to be kind and good. I will try my best to be like him in all I do. We can all try to be like him. So he's really just portrayed as a good moral figure or a good example, whereas to me, he's much more than that. He's my savior. So I feel like this is just a very general, simple portrayal of God and Jesus and praying. So I think that this could possibly work for a secular family if needed. The art appreciation in here is really good. The paintings are very beautiful, and a lot of the times they have children in them or just very beautiful landscapes. So that's nice, but I think I would have picked some different art for children. I would have picked some modern artists like Kandinsky or Matisse or Rothko, because that kind of art can be easily reproduced by a child. So no, we don't plan on using the Good and the Beautiful language arts curriculum for this coming school year, although I do wholeheartedly recommend it. It covers so many subjects in one course book, so it's really great for someone who's interested in minimalist homeschooling. We're just going to do our own thing this year, reading books and enjoying them and drawing pictures about what we learned in the books and practicing some very simple writing and talking about words and talking about vocabulary and spelling and punctuation and just keeping it an open conversation. Grammar usage and punctuation are usually taught in the older grades, and the classical conversations community that we are part of teaches it in the foundations level. So I'm not too worried about that. I think that's going to be more appropriate for her when she's a little bit older and she's going to be more interested in it then. It's just going to make more sense to her. So for now, we're just going to build on what we've learned using this curriculum and acknowledge antonyms and synonyms and verbs and nouns and simple punctuation as we encounter it in our daily reading. Did I mention my daughter loves to read? Because she does. For spelling, I think we'll just mix that in with our lessons and unit studies, and possibly even our classical conversations memory sentences. We can pick a word from there to use as a vocabulary word and then practice spelling it. But I know we could also do some dictation and copy work and use that as an opportunity to work on spelling. I think when there's a lot of reading and writing going on, spelling just happens naturally. We'll continue to use the phonics flashcards because these are just really, really great, and I think they really, really help with understanding why words sound the way they do and why words are spelled the way they are as well. And for art appreciation, I know that I can passionately teach art appreciation just using a book about the world's greatest artists, because that's what I love. I love art history, so I don't think we'll have any trouble with that. In fact, I'm very excited to teach that. I think that will be awesome. But we will be using the Good and the Beautiful Level K math course book, which I'm super, super excited about, and I'm going to tell you all about what we think of it. So subscribe to see that video on the math curriculum when it comes out. And now I want to hear what you have to say. So like, share, subscribe, and comment away. And then after you do that, go outside and have a sublime day.